Marco, you come from Bologna. Is it the first time you come to Algeria?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Are you happy?
Very happy, actually.
Okay, you better say so.
Yeah. Very happy to be here. I work also for Bologna. I work with several organizations, but one of these is Bologna. The Bologna municipality is a very interesting case of sharing circular economy and sharing possibility together with the citizenship to build up the city. It was mentioning before the co-city and the Bologna regulation about sharing with the citizens. And co-city Bologna is a model. Started in Bologna. And why Bologna? Bologna is, there are three main reasons why started. The first one is Bologna has been always very innovative and creative city. I would like to remember to everyone that Bologna is the oldest university in the world. So from there started a lot of innovative projects. Second, the lack of resources of the municipality after the 2007. The municipality started to think a new model to collaborate with the citizenship, with commons. So taking account that there were a lot of spaces left and destroyed, public parks, the famous parts of the streets with a lot of graffitis, and with the model co-city Bologna started with this cooperation between the citizenship and the administration. Now I want to mention in the cooperation with the citizenship a very special project that has been also transferred in many other places in the world that is called Social Street. The social street concept starts from a network, very simple, very cheap because of no cost. You need only Facebook, and there is a Facebook group made in the street, so only people from the street can be part of this Facebook group. So there is a couple of administrators that let in people just coming from that street, and you try to manage the street between the people that are living the streets. So going out from the concept that the public, the municipality has to think about the streets. It started in 2012, very easy.
Who initiated that?
It started with 3 people from the street that started with a primitive bike sharing concept between them. And then they bought many other bicycles and started with the bike sharing within the street. From there, they jump into other parts of public spaces, like parks, like cleanness of the graffiti, like organizing the activities for migrants, disabled people, women that are, that belong to disadvantaged groups. So it started in many different fields. Now there are more than 500 social streets spread around in the world. So it is a very typical case how a sharing, economy, a recycle system can be used within in a street, because also in the Facebook groups there are the skills of the people that live the street. So if you need a carpenter, for example, you don't need to call a carpenter from the other side of the city. That means CO2 emissions to transfer the person there. That means more cost for the community. So you just take the person that is in the street. So this is something that really works and is really used in many other parts of the world.
And it started in Bologna.
And it started in Bologna.
Like
yes.
the first university, you started the first social street.
Actually, the street is called Via Fondazza. It's a proper name, Via Fondazza, and it is
And the Facebook group is also Via Fondazza.
Via Fondazza, yes. But the name of the street where it started, that is
Via
social
Fondazza.
street. Now, every street has its own name, and every street has its own Facebook group, because every street goes in a Facebook group. So this is very interesting, no?
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Marco. Donc là, on a un autre exemple de contribution des nouvelles technologies à l'économie du partage. C'est l'exemple de Bologne où ils ont mis en place un groupe Facebook dans cette rue qui s'appelle Via Fondazza, et ça a amené toute des activités de partage, des activités circulaires, le partage de bicyclettes par exemple, l'aménagement de parcs, des travaux avec les migrants, et puis aussi de tout ce qui est l'utilisation de compétences locales. Par exemple, si on a besoin d'un menuisier, on gère ça sur Facebook, on fait une demande sur le groupe Facebook. Donc, et ça se développe, il y en a maintenant plus de 500. Et donc, c'est réservé aux habitants de la rue, mais ça crée toute une économie locale, et puis aussi une interaction, des interactions sociales. Donc, ça enrichit un peu la vie du quartier, du vivre ensemble, qui se développe grâce à ces groupes qui se sont lancés à Bologne. Voilà. Thanks a lot, all of you. Do we have time for some questions? Can we give the floor to the participants if they want to ask specific questions? Est-ce que quelqu'un a une question avant qu'on reprenne? À nos intervenants. Attendez, on va vous donner un micro. Donc j'ai une question ici, je peux prendre une deuxième question.
Marche.
Plus fort.
Alors, oui, j'aurais une question pour notre ami italien de
En
Bologne.
anglais.
Ah, en anglais. So I have a question for our Italian friend from Bologna. So your project, did it stay just in Bologna, or you made it go in other cities in Italy, maybe? I don't know.
Was it duplicated to other cities of Italy
Yes,
and Europe?
absolutely. The project started in 2012 in Bologna, and now is spread around the world. So you can find more than 500 social streets in the world. If you get in the website socialstreet.it, you will find all the streets linked there. And you can see I don't think in Algeria has a social street actually, but yeah.
It's Algeria we have, but it's informal. We have
It's
many.
informal social street.
It's called Huma.
Yeah, we have it. We have some sort of that here in Algeria, and maybe we can make it more formal with joining your group.
Absolutely, yeah. You can form. It's very easy. You can just mention that you have a Facebook group within the social streets. You communicate it to the person that work with that. So very easy.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Donc il disait, ça a démarré en Italie, mais il y a maintenant plus de 500 dans le monde entier, qui sont développés. Et il y a un site où on peut s'inscrire pour être membre de ce réseau-là. Voilà.
Yeah. Thank you.
Une autre question?
Yes, please.
Allez-y.
I'm here.
Vous présentez, s'il vous plaît. J'ai oublié de vous demander de vous présenter.
Mr. Sid, founder and GM for Revolution Technology Algeria. So just a question to Mr. Martin. Thank you for intervention. So you have shared a very good example, which is to recycle this plastic bottle. Sorry, madam, can I borrow it? So it's actually a good initiative because it has a double side. First of all, it's creating value or supporting others to recycle this bottle, and also thinking about the environment. Now, because of in the topic of smart cities, its implication or both actually private company or enterprise and then government, right? Knowing that most of the company that are building or manufacturing this bottle or selling it in the market, it's a private company, right? How it's happening, this merger or implication between both company, how to make it, not to say to force it, but to push those private company to go toward this objective, to convince them, because probably they are not interested into the recycling, while government are, right? This synergy, how it's happened, what's the approach, what is the the mechanic behind this. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's very simple. Actually, it's because the government has a vision, and then they have a very strict environmental policy. So to create and live up to those policies, they create regulations which are imposed to the businesses doing business in Denmark, which means that the business actually has to customize their business for doing business in Denmark. So if you were to, let's say, Evian, for example, should sell bottled water in Denmark, they would be imposed on an environmental tax, which would have the taxation on the bottle. And this is how it's done. So it's very key to understand that the government or the regulative party actually has a very important role in forcing and pushing the market towards a direction they want.
Okay. Donc c'est l'utilisation du cadre réglementaire. C'est qu'on met en place le système de consigne et c'est une loi, donc ils ne peuvent pas s'y couper, vous voyez. Ils ne peuvent pas éviter ça. Donc c'est ce qu'il disait quand il disait you said that for milk, for example, the framework was not in place yet.
Yes, so there's always gaps, and this was the example where the soda cans, they were taxed, and you had recycling tax on it, but when the big dairy corporation actually wanted to create milk on a can, it actually went outside the normal regulations. So they had to amend the regulations to actually enforce tax on that, because it was taxed accordingly to what the content of the product.
Thank you. Une dernière question avant qu'on revienne. Non, c'est bon. Okay. So I'm going to ask you. We have 15 minutes left. You know, what do you think are the main? Just 5 minutes. 5 minutes, sorry. Okay, so really briefly, you know, what are the key principles, you know, that we have to adopt to make it successful? And I'm not going to talk about maybe if you want to, because one of the objectives is how we can share, you know, the best practices, and we can establish international networks of sharing cities and sharing economies in cities. So you choose, you know, either you tell us about, you know, how we can have these international networks, or what are the main, you know, the key drivers or key principles that we have to adopt to make it successful. We can start with you, Marco.
Okay. I can say I choose the second. Because I choose the model of regulation, Bologna regulation. So Co-City Bologna is based on 3 key factors. One is the horizontal subsidiarity. The second is the collaboration. And the third one is the polycentrism. That changed totally as the new paradigm. So make a new paradigm for sharing cities, for sharing with, you know, for sharing commons in this case. I don't know if I have just a second as example, no, because I'm working in a very difficult field at the moment with Roma municipality, with Roma camps. Roma people is one of the big issues for Italy at the moment. And we are using this kind of collaborative strategy. So there is the Roma municipality. They put the funds. There are EU funds for this program, special program. I'm working with Red Cross on these Roma camps. Together with the local stakeholders, so associations and social partners. And we are working in 2 different fields, housing and integration in the labor market. And this is, I think, is a good model that we are using now.
Thank you. Carl Filling, the success factors, key